was real from me. What's up?
Same.
Hi, honey.
Hey.
How you doing?
What? After a yawn like that, I'm going to need a nap.
Yeah, you're going to need about 30 minutes to take a nap?
Yeah. Lay down and take a nap.
All right. Well, hey, are you ready to learn more about the Bible today?
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you're going to teach us about the Bible today.
Yeah, I mean, I only teach the best things about the Bible.
That's true.
Anyways, let's get to the last time, right? Last time, God did his special protection spell that included ripping off the balls of a goat and then dangling them above all of the Israelites that were going from from Babylon to Jerusalem so that they could have a protection spell.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked. And so they were able to make it to Jerusalem. Ezra, when Ezra gets there with all of his brosefs and all their slaves, Ezra meets with a bunch of the higher up people in the area, like, the leaders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really concerned about something. And this is probably one of the biggest concerns in the Bible, apparently. And you'll understand why I'm saying that here in a second. So they were really concerned that the Israelites had been mixing with other races, other peoples in general. Like, they were mixing things up.
Can't have that.
Fuck that is what Ezra says. And he does it in a very dramatic way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So picture this. Okay. He learns that people have been mixing with other races, religions, whatever. And so Ezra has a total, complete meltdown. Okay. First off, he gets naked, as we all do when we get that angry. Okay.
We do?
Yeah. We just strip our clothes off. We get naked in the middle of wherever the fuck we are.
I don't think people do that.
Like in the middle of Walmart or whatever.
I don't go to Walmart.
You find out that they don't have like your imitation bacon bits things.
Is that what happens at Walmart?
Yep.
It's a good thing I don't go there.
They strip naked and then he proceeds to pull out all of his hair. Head hair, body hair, bush hair, ass crack hair, all of it is just plucked out. And like he just grabs at his hair and he pulls it off of his head. And
I don't think you should go to Walmart anymore.
He is that distressed over this news that people have been fucking around with other people that didn't believe in Yahweh. And so that's how upset he got. And then it comes to the evening sacrifice, right? Well, Ezra is still really, really distraught. He's still being a little bit of a bitch about it and overreacting and shit. And apparently he screams to the entire crowd, "You have forsaken God by mixing the races. Segregation! Segregation!" I hurt
dramatic.
my throat.
Seems dramatic. Very, very dramatic.
Yep. So anyways, this guy named Shaky, who, if you'd understand, he's been doing a lot of meth recently. Okay.
What? This is not what we discussed.
Shaky then suggested that they make a new promise to exile all of the foreign women and all of the children that have been made from making or procreating with these foreign women. And they shall all be exiled from Jerusalem. Fuck it. I mean, that turned out well for Abraham, right? With Hagar and Ishmael.
No, it didn't really.
Well, it didn't work out for Ishmael, that's for sure. Anyways, Ezra then called a meeting of everybody so that he could discuss this new plan to exile all of the people of other races
House
and
meetings.
religions.
House meetings are always a bad idea.
They are. Mm-hmm. And this meeting is super serious because Ezra really doesn't like all these people of other races fucking the Israelites, okay? So what does he do? He makes a mandate. He says, if you don't come to this family meeting right now, you too will be exiled and put out there and buzzards will eat your assholes, okay? And that's what's going to happen. That's what he tells them.
Not what we talked about.
Everyone agreed. That was at the meeting, obviously. Everybody got to the meeting, everything. So they started, and he starts the meeting and everything like that. And everybody agreed that they should exile all of the women, all the foreign women, and all of the children that were produced from relations with the foreign women.
Seems like an excessive overreaction.
Do you think so?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then they proceeded to make a list of all of the men that made whoopee or, did the horizontal lambada or however you want to put it that will make YouTube not flag us too much. That they ended up mixing the races by procreating with the foreign women, and they did this so they could shame them and exile them from the clan.
Awesome.
Yeah, so got a little bit of a basis for 1950s Alabama here, and standing strong against the desegregation efforts, I feel. I do believe at the very beginning of this, Ezra calls the Jewish people the holy race.
He does. Yeah, that's actually in there. Good job.
So,
You got one thing right.
What?
I mean, you at least got that.
Look, buzzards are definitely going to be eating assholes.
I don't think so.
You think they don't eat assholes now?
I mean, it's not what I said, really. It's just not in this story.
Just because it's not there doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I mean, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine if people died in deserts, their assholes got eaten by buzzards.
There you go. See? Totally logical here. What's up, heathens?
How y'all doing?
So apparently I didn't get everything right. Ezra definitely breaks down naked, strips all of his hair off of his body, and then mourns over the idea of people having sex with other people that didn't necessarily believe the same as him, or even look the same as him, really.
I mean, I don't know if I want to go as far as all that, but you're partially right, which is usually the case.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, should we get to it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to listen and learn.
Okay, well, so today we're doing Ezra chapters 9 and 10, and we're starting out in time, according to this, in about 458 BCE.
Okay.
So that's where we are in time. We kind of talked last time, Ezra and he got a whole bunch of people together, and they went back from Babylon to Jerusalem, right? Back to Israel. Took the trek, counted all their shit, took gold and silver, livestock, did a bunch of sacrificing, and here we are, right? So they arrive, and he's informed by leaders in the community that there's some stuff going on he doesn't like, and that's where we're starting off. So are you ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm good to go.
After these things had been done, the leaders came to me and said, "The people of Israel, including the priests and the Levites, have not kept themselves separate from the neighboring peoples with their detestable practices, like those of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, Ammonites, Moabites, Egyptians, and Amorites. They have taken some of their daughters as wives and for themselves and their sons, and have mingled the holy race with the peoples around them."
What? You can't say that. Like, that's racist. Like, that's some real Nazi shit right there. The holy race.
Yeah, well, they've been told, these are Jews.
I know.
I'm just saying that sort of, anyway.
It seems a little backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, they were told, a long time ago, long time ago, that they were not supposed to be friendly with those around them who believed in the other gods. They were definitely not supposed to marry with them. They were told to keep themselves separate.
Yeah, actually, I think God explicitly said you may get your slaves from these people, not have meaningful relationships with them.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be friends with them. You're not supposed to intermarry. You're not supposed to give them your daughters. You're not supposed to take their daughters. None of those things. You shouldn't trade your daughters. Not that you shouldn't trade your daughters. It's fine. It's fine if you give your daughters away as property and take other people's daughters as property. You just can't do it with other people, like foreign people.
Right.
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with, treating your daughters as property. That's fine. It's totally normal. Okay. So, and the leaders and officials have led the way in this unfaithfulness. So it's not just, the basic people, the middle class and working class and whatever. It's the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it too. And so Ezra's pretty disturbed by this. And he says, "When I heard this, I tore my tunic and cloak, pulled hair from my head and beard, and sat down appalled." So it doesn't say he's naked.
I mean, he's still got his bush thing going on down there, I'm sure.
He didn't tear off his clothes. He just tore his clothes. And then it only addresses the hair on his head and his beard.
Yeah, well, okay. So, I mean, this would be akin to me, like, taking my shirt, ripping it a little bit, and I've just got tattered clothes now. Like, why would you want to destroy your shit like that?
I mean, that's how they mourn. This is a known way of showing that you're, mourning.
I get that. But, if I hear about somebody in my town, mixing with whoever or marrying whoever, I don't care. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, what? This person that I don't know? Ah! And, and I tear my shit. I destroy my shit. Like, I'm not going to destroy my shit for them.
I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to just tear your clothes, because then it's like, well, now I just got to get fucking new clothes. Like, it's like the guy who throws all of his shit on the floor, or like all of his files up in the air because he thinks it's Friday and he doesn't need this shit over the weekend. And then he realizes it's Thursday and he's got to pick it all back up.
Yeah. Or he needs that shit for Monday.
Or that. So it's kind of like that, but that's what he does. And Ezra's very upset about this because he knows they're not allowed to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Then everyone who trembled at the words of the God of Israel gathered around me because of this unfaithfulness of the exiles. And I sat there appalled until the evening sacrifice. He was appalled.
I feel like it goes hand to forehead, like, oh, and this is just kind of one of those times where it's like a double palm, like back of the hand to the forehead, like, ah.
Yes, he's very upset, very distraught.
Mm-hmm.
Then at the evening sacrifice, I rose from my self-abasement with my tunic and cloak torn and fell on my knees with my hands spread out to the Lord my God and prayed. I am too ashamed and disgraced, my God, to lift up my face to you, because our sins are higher than our heads and our guilt has reached to the heavens. From the days of our ancestors until now, our guilt has been great. Because of our sins, we and our kings and our priests have been subjected to the sword and captivity, to pillage and humiliation at the hand of foreign kings, as it is today. But now, for a brief moment, the Lord our God has been gracious in leaving us a remnant and giving us a firm place in his sanctuary. And so our God gives light to our eyes and a little relief in our bondage. Though we are slaves, our God has not forsaken us in our bondage. He has shown us kindness in the sight of the kings of Persia. He has granted us new life to rebuild the house of our God and repair its ruins. And he has given us a wall of protection in Judah and Jerusalem. But now, our God, what can we say after this? After this horrible, horrible thing we did, marrying someone that believes something different than we do.
Yeah, somebody from a different nation.
Yeah. For we have forsaken the commands you gave us through your servants and prophets when you said, the land you are entering to possess is a land polluted by the corruption of its peoples. By their detestable practices, they have filled it with their impurity from one end to the other. Therefore, do not give your daughters in marriage to their sons or take their daughters for your sons. Do not seek a treaty of friendship with them at any time, that you may be strong and eat the good things of the land and leave it to your children as an everlasting inheritance. So that's what he told them before.
Yeah.
What has happened to us is a result of our evil deeds and our great guilt, and yet our God, you have punished us less than our sins deserve and have given us a remnant like this. It's weird that he thinks that they've been punished less than they deserve. I mean, we've read this together. We know the shit that has happened, and it's like, that's madness to think, well, we deserve worse.
Yeah.
It seems like Ezra thinks that they don't deserve to have a remnant, that they should have all been destroyed.
Yeah, it seems that way. Ezra's a judgy fuck, isn't he?
Yeah. Shall we then break your commands again and intermarry with the peoples who commit such detestable practices? Would you not be angry enough with us to destroy us, leaving us no remnant or survivor? Lord, the God of Israel, you are righteous. We are left this day as a remnant. Here we are before you in our guilt, though because of it, not one of us can stand in your presence. So Ezra's done bitching now, and Shechaniah has a suggestion.
Oh, shaky.
Yeah. While Ezra was praying and confessing, weeping and throwing himself down before the house of God, they just described a tantrum.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. A large crowd of Israelites, men, women, and children gathered around him. You know what I'd be saying to my kid?
Don't you dare act like this when you get older. I will fucking slap you in the face.
I would take you out if you acted like that. Don't ever embarrass me like that in public. Do you see this asshole? Don't ever fucking do that. Okay? That's what I'd be saying. All right. So they too wept bitterly, all these people around them. They're very appalled at themselves and everyone around them because they've married foreign people.
Yeah.
Then Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the descendants of Elam, said to Ezra, we have been unfaithful to our God by marrying foreign women from the people around us, but in spite of this, there is still hope for Israel. Now let us make a covenant before our God and send away all these women and their children in accordance with the counsel of my Lord and those who fear the commands of our God. Let it be done according to the law. Rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it. So their suggestion is to make another covenant with God, and in order to do so, as kind of a repentance, everyone who's married to a foreign woman would send them away, along with all of the children that have been produced from that marriage, which seems shitty.
Yeah, definitely.
And contrary to the other laws that they have regarding marriage, but I guess it doesn't apply because they're foreigners.
Yeah.
Right?
It does.
So Ezra rose up and put the leading priests and Levites in all Israel under Gested, and then they took the oath. Then Ezra withdrew from before the house of God and went to the room of Jehohanan, son of Eliashib. While he was there, he ate no food and drank no water because he continued to mourn over the unfaithfulness of the exile. A proclamation was then issued throughout Judah and Jerusalem for all the exiles to assemble in Jerusalem. Anyone who failed to appear within 3 days would forfeit all of his property in accordance with the decision of the officials and elders and would himself be expelled from the assembly of exiles.
Okay.
Within 3 days, all the men of Judah and Benjamin had gathered in Jerusalem. Yeah, because they didn't want to lose all their shit, right?
Yeah.
And on the 20th day of the 9th month, all the people were sitting in the square before the house of God, greatly distressed by the occasion and because of the rain. All had to go outside in the rain. To be fair, I don't like going out in the rain either.
Yeah, fuck that.
Then Ezra the priest stood up and said to them, "You have been unfaithful. You have married foreign women, adding to Israel's guilt. Now honor the Lord, the God of your ancestors, and do his will. Separate yourselves from the people around you and from your foreign wives." The whole assembly responded with a loud voice, "You are right. We must do as you say." The fuck? Everybody's like, yeah, give up these bitches. Like, it just seems like such a weird thing. Everybody's on board. But there are many people here and it is the rainy season, so we cannot stand outside. Besides, this matter cannot be taken care of in a day or two because we have sinned greatly in this thing. Let our officials act for the whole assembly. Then let everyone in our towns who has married a foreign woman come at a set time, along with the elders and judges of each town, until the fierce anger of our God in this matter has turned away from us. Only Jonathan, son of Asahel, and Jazaiah, son of Tikva, supported by Meshullam and Shabbathai, the Levite, opposed this. So they decided basically to set court dates, essentially, for everyone who's married a foreign woman. They have to come back and deal with it and essentially let them, send them away with the children that they've produced.
That seems like really shitty.
Yeah. The problem is that they have to figure out who all has done this, right? So that's our next job.
Okay.
So the exiles did as was proposed. Ezra the priest selected men who were family heads, one from each family division, and all of them designated by name. On the first day of the 10th month, they sat down to investigate the cases. And by the first day of the first month, they'd finished dealing with all the men who had married foreign women. Okay, so for 2 months, I guess 3 months, right? What would it be? The 10th month, like October, November, December, right?
Yeah.
They sat down to go through all the cases. So this took 3 months.
Right.
Okay. Among the descendants of the priests, the following had married foreign women.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
This is my least favorite part. You ready?
I mean, if you don't want to read all of them, you could just read a few or something. Or if you want to read all of them, that's fine, I guess.
I mean, it's the rest of what's left today.
Oh,
so
okay.
I might hand it over to you at some point. We'll see how I do.
Okay.
Among the descendants of the priests, the following had married foreign women. From the descendants of Joshua, son of Jozadak, and his brothers, Maaseiah, Eliezer, Jerub, and Gedaliah, they all gave their hands in pledge to put away their wives and their guilt. And for their guilt, they each presented a ram of the flock as a guilt offering. From the descendants of Emer, Hanani, and Zebediah. From the descendants of Haram, Messiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Uzziah. From the descendants of Pashur, Elioenai, maybe, Messiah, Ishmael, Nathaniel, Jozabad, and Elasa. Among the Levites, so this is even especially bad, like the Levites, because they're the priests.
Yeah.
And they did a bad. Okay, so among the Levites, you have Jozabad, Shimei, Kelaiah, also known as Kalita, Pethahiah, Judah, and another Eliezer. From the musicians, Eliashib. From the gatekeepers, Shalom, Telem, and Uri. And among the other Israelites, from the descendants of Parosh, Remaniah, Isaiah, Malchijah, Myjamin, Eliezer, Malchijah, another one, there's 2 of them, and Benaiah. From the descendants of Elam, Mattaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, and Elijah. From the descendants of Zatu, Elionai, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, and Aziza. From the descendants of Bibai, don't know, Jehohanan, Hananiah, Zabai, and Athlai. From Bani, Meshullam, Malach, Adaiah, Jashub, Sheel, and Jeremoth. From the descendants of Pahath Moab, Adna, Kalal, Benaiah, Masaiah, Mattaniah, Bezalel, Binui, and Manasseh.
You got there.
From the descendants of Haram, another one of these, Eliezer, Ishijah, Malchijah, Shemaiah, Shimeon, Benjamin, Malach, and Shemariah. From the descendants of Hashum, Mattanai, Matata, Zabud, Eliphelet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimi. From the descendants of Bani. Didn't we already have Bani? Jesus Christ, I swear we already had. Yep. Apparently there's another Bani, or Bani, B-A-N-I. There's two of them. Madai, Amram, Yul, U-E-L. How the fuck do you say that?
U-E-L.
Yul? That's what I said, but I don't know. Benaiah, Bedaiah, Keluhi, Vaniah, Meramoth, Eliashib, Mattanai, and Jesu. From the descendants of Binui. Sure. There's a note here. Hebrew is Jesu. I guess the Jesu and Bani and Binui. I'm not sure. I think the names maybe were a little different in the Septuagint. Shimei, Shelemiah. This guy's family is really bad. Okay. Nathan, Adaiah, Macnadabai, Shashai, Sheri, Azarel, Shelemiah, Shemariah, Shalom, Amariah, and Joseph.
Love how it ends there.
From the descendants of Nebo, Jeiel, Jeiel. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mattithiah, Zabad, Zabina, Jedi, Joel, and Benaiah. Benaiah. All of these had married foreign women, and some of them had children by these wives, and they sent them away with their children.
Oh, you made it all the way through, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. So it was really they were shitty people.
I know, it was really important that you all hear the list of names so they could be shamed throughout eternity. Because everybody remembers exactly who all of these fucking people are, and they're a shame on their households.
Yeah, for marrying people that believe differently and came from different places than them. Yeah. Apparently.
So that's all we're going to do for today. Next week, we're going to jump out of Ezra. We're not done with Ezra, but we're going to jump out of Ezra into Nehemiah. Yeah. Yes. We're going to jump into that. We're going to talk about what's going on in Jerusalem. The news, what's happening. Nehemiah is going to be commissioned. And there's going to be some discussion about authority. Who's in charge? What's going on? Right? There are going to be some nighttime inspections. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, but we'll see.
Okay.
We're going to talk about some different plans, what they're doing, why those plans are going to be ridiculed a little bit, but we'll discuss it. There's going to be a division of labor to make sure that everybody knows who's going to be doing what, which is really important. And that's what we're going to do. Next time, we're going to have Nehemiah the following week 2. So
okay,
we're just going to jump into that Nehemiah chapter 1 next week.
Sounds awesome. Getting into some Nehemiah. Well, if you heathens want to tune in for all of that, then you'll have to do that next week. Until then, why don't you go down below and let us know what you thought about today's Bible podcast. Do you think that maybe this fueled some of the segregation shit way back when? Do you think that it informs racists now? Let us know down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you like atheist Bible podcasts like this.
And as always, don't forget to stand up and use your voice.
Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all.